Some guy said cache is not the bottleneck and IO is. Can't they both be bottlenecks? They said GTA 5 was bottlenecked by IO and so is Chrome. Okay, here's the thing. There are different levels of things to be bottlenecked by. So whoever said GTA is bottlenecked by IO is first of all clueless, right? Because there are different scenarios, okay? The loading speed of GTA may be bottlenecked by IO. The rate at which you could travel across the world may be bottlenecked by IO. If and it depends on what IO you mean. Like if we're talking about IO from disk or hard drive or something, right? Frame to frame of just you standing in the world and like trying to dodge some police or whatever is not bottlenecked by IO unless maybe you're talking about like bus traffic to the GPU. And if that is the case, you only got to that being the bottleneck through astounding optimization of getting rid of cache problems. So like, okay, first of all, if this dude doesn't work in games, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like this sounds like some guy who like saw one, what's the Eurogamer thing? He saw like one of those technical rundowns that they do and thinks he knows things. But like, okay, if you are bottlenecked on disk IO, that is very, very bad, right? And you have to fix that problem before cache is your biggest problem. But that just means you gave yourself an even worse problem. That's like not good, right? And then here's this other fallacy. Like everyone says, oh, we're bottlenecked on this thing, so other things don't need to be fast. Yes, they do. Like the reason the web sucks so bad is web programmers, every time I talk to web programmers, they say, oh, well, everything responds in 100 milliseconds, so it's fine. And I'm like, no, dude, latency's add. Like they just don't get it, right? Latency's add. So if you have cache problems and IO problems, those add. It's like, look, if any of this was actually reasonable, software wouldn't be complete dog shit like it actually is. Like we have amazing, amazing computers and software runs like dog shit. So anyone giving you excuses for software running like dog shit is not somebody you should learn from. They don't really know. That's all I'm going to say. Digital Foundry, yes. It's like some guy saw one Digital Foundry article and thinks he knows everything about video games, right? No. I've been doing video games for 38 years, much of that or some of that non-professionally, but I still don't remotely know a small part of everything there is to know about video games. There is so much to know. It's incredible. So like anyone who hasn't been doing this hardcore for their whole life has no idea. Do not listen to them about anything about games. They have no idea. They don't think stuff runs slow. Well, that's okay. I mean, that's the thing, right? If they don't think stuff runs slow, there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. Now, I will point out there's a contradiction. They can't say, oh, it's fine that it runs at this speed because there's a bottleneck on X. And then also things don't run slow. But yeah, this is what you guys are saying is something that I try to raise awareness of whenever I can, is that programmers do not know how fast their computers are. They literally have no idea how much work their computer can do in 1 second, right? Or in 1/60th of a second. They have no idea. The amount of work your computer can do in a 60th of a second is very, very large. Just run the numbers, man, on like a modern CPU. How many cores does it have, right? How many instructions per clock does it have? How many clocks happen in a 60th of a second? It's a large number. 1/60th of like 4 billion is still a big number. times the number of cores times the number of instructions per clock. It's a big number, guys. So you have to take your 4 billion divided by 60, and then you have to multiply that by, like, I don't know, 4, which is instructions per clock, and then times the number of cores. Could actually do the multiply before the divide. So if you say it's like a 6-core machine, 8-core, let's say 8-core, 4 instructions per clock, that's 32. That's about half of 60. So you have, if it's 4, do things run at 4 gigahertz still? I don't even know. If it's 4 gigahertz divided by 2, that's how many things per clock. You can do 2 giga operations in a 60th of a second. It's insane, dude. I mean, that's of course peak performance that you'll never reach, but your desktop is way faster and has way lower latencies than the supercomputer cluster you used to work on. It was number 37 at the time. Yeah, dude. Desktops today are insane. They are so fast. They are so